Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a routine, unable to break free from the same patterns that hold you back? Do you often wonder why life feels so repetitive and you can't seem to make lasting changes? Or perhaps you're craving something more, a deeper sense of purpose, peace, and happiness. What if I told you that in just 90 days, you could completely transform your life? Imagine waking up every day with a clear sense of direction, calmness, and the strength to face challenges head-on. Picture yourself cultivating meaningful relationships, gaining inner peace, and building habits that empower you to succeed. Sounds like a dream, right? But this transformation is not only possible, it's within your reach. Think of it like cleaning out your closet. At first, everything is a mess, and it feels overwhelming. But once you start organizing, piece by piece, everything begins to make sense. Slowly, the clutter fades away, and the space around you becomes more peaceful. Just like that, you can clear the clutter in your mind and life with the wisdom of Buddhism, leading to profound changes in just 90 days. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. Here, we'll explore how simple yet powerful teachings can help you create the life you've always wanted. If you're serious about making a change, then stay tuned because what we're about to share will open doors to a completely new way of thinking and living. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So, if you're ready to start your transformation, don't miss out. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join our community of seekers who are taking that first step toward lasting change. Now, let's dive into the first step of your journey. In this video, we will explore how the wisdom of Buddhism can help you make powerful changes in your life. From understanding the core teachings to incorporating them into daily habits, this journey will show you how to unlock your true potential in 90 days. Ready to get started? Let's begin. The foundation, understanding the core of Buddhism. To truly change your life, it is important to understand the foundation of the teachings that can guide you. Buddhism offers a profound path that teaches us how to live with more peace, awareness, and wisdom. But before we dive into techniques and practices, it's essential to understand the core principles of Buddhism. Without this understanding, we might find ourselves trying to change without having a clear direction. At the heart of Buddhism lies the understanding of suffering, its causes, and how we can overcome it. This might sound heavy at first, but bear with me, because once you grasp these teachings, they will make the journey ahead much clearer. The first thing to know is that Buddhism isn't about religion or rituals. It's about understanding the mind and its patterns and learning to transform them. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a natural part of life. We all experience pain, loss, and disappointment. But the key message here is not to avoid suffering but to understand it. Life is full of change, and with it comes uncertainty. We don't always get what we want, and people often let us down. However, Buddhism offers us a way to find peace in this turbulent world. The first noble truth in Buddhism is that suffering exists. This might sound simple, but it is a profound realization. Once we accept that suffering is part of life, we can begin to look for ways to ease that suffering. Often, we are caught up in trying to avoid discomfort or escape the pain we feel. But what Buddhism teaches us is that the more we resist, the more we struggle. True freedom comes when we acknowledge suffering without running from it. The second noble truth reveals the cause of suffering, our attachments and desires. We crave things we don't have, we hold on to things that are fleeting, and we wish for things to stay the same when they are always changing. It's this grasping, this clinging to things and outcomes that leads to our pain. For example, when we hold on tightly to an idea of how our life should be or cling to things that no longer serve us, we are setting ourselves up for frustration. The more we desire something, the more we fear losing it, and this fear only fuels more suffering. The third noble truth offers hope. It tells us that it is possible to end suffering. We don't have to live in a state of constant yearning and dissatisfaction. Through practice, we can break the cycle of attachment and find inner peace. This doesn't mean that we will never feel pain again, but it means we can approach life with a sense of calm, even when faced with difficulty. It's like standing in the midst of a storm, and rather than being blown away by the winds, we stand firmly, knowing the storm will pass. The fourth noble truth is the path that leads us to freedom from suffering. This is where the teachings of Buddhism provide the tools we need to create change in our lives. The path is not a set of rigid rules or moral commandments. Instead, it's a guide to living a life that promotes wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. This is where the concept of the Eightfold Path comes in, a practical roadmap for living with awareness, mindfulness, and compassion. One of the key elements of Buddhism is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. In our busy world, it's easy to get lost in the past or the future. We constantly worry about what's next or regret what's already happened. But mindfulness teaches us to step back, breathe, and simply be in the present moment. It's in this moment of awareness that we can start to notice our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, and begin to choose those that lead us toward a more peaceful life. The idea of mindfulness is rooted in the belief that our thoughts create our reality. If we are constantly thinking negatively, we are bound to experience negative outcomes. On the other hand, if we cultivate positive thoughts and intentions, we create a life filled with more harmony and joy. This doesn't mean that everything will be perfect, but it means that we will approach life with an open mind and heart, ready to face whatever comes our way with calmness and wisdom. Another essential teaching in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Not our pain, not our pleasure, not our successes or failures. Everything is constantly changing. When we accept this truth, we free ourselves from the need to hold on to things that are bound to change. This understanding can help us let go of our attachments, whether they are to people, material possessions, or even our own ideas of who we think we should be. Instead of holding on, we learn to embrace the flow of life, trusting that whatever comes our way is part of our journey. In Buddhism, there is also a strong emphasis on compassion and loving kindness. It's not just about finding peace for ourselves, it's about sharing that peace with others. The more we cultivate compassion for others, the more we create a compassionate world around us. This doesn't mean that we should always put others' needs before our own, but it means that we approach others with kindness, understanding, and empathy. We recognize that everyone, just like us, is on a journey filled with challenges and hopes. Understanding the core of Buddhism isn't about adopting a set of beliefs or rituals. It's about seeing life clearly. It's about waking up from the illusion that happiness is something that can be found outside of ourselves. Instead, Buddhism teaches us that happiness comes from within, through the way we think, the way we act, and the way we relate to the world around us. To change your life in 90 days, you must first understand this foundation. Without it, any attempt to change will feel shallow or temporary. But with a deep understanding of the teachings of Buddhism, you begin to see that true transformation isn't about changing external circumstances. It's about changing how you relate to life itself. This internal shift is the key to lasting change. When you understand that suffering is part of life, that attachment causes pain, and that peace is possible through the Eightfold Path, you'll begin to make different choices. You'll begin to notice the patterns in your thoughts and actions that lead to suffering, and you'll have the tools to change them. In the next step of your journey, we will explore how to cultivate mindfulness and meditation practices that can guide you to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. But for now, take a moment to reflect on this core wisdom. Let it sink in. Life is full of change, and by understanding the foundation of Buddhism, you can create a life filled with greater peace, compassion, and wisdom. This understanding is not a quick fix, but rather the beginning of a profound transformation, one that can shape your life for the better in the next 90 days. Mindfulness, the art of living in the present. In today's fast-paced world, it often feels like our minds are racing, constantly jumping from one task to another, one worry to the next. We are either regretting the past or anxiously anticipating the future, rarely giving ourselves the chance to simply be in the present moment. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools to transform your life is right here, right now? That's the essence of mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, without judgment, without distraction. Mindfulness is a practice that has been at the core of Buddhist teachings for centuries. It's not just about meditation. It's about how you live, how you approach each moment, and how you interact with the world around you. When practiced fully, mindfulness can bring a sense of peace, clarity, and awareness that has the power to transform your life. But how does it work? Imagine that you are sitting down for a meal. Often, when we eat, our minds are busy with other thoughts. What we need to do next, the problems we are facing, or even just random distractions. But when you eat mindfully, you slow down. You focus on each bite. You notice the texture, the taste, the warmth, and the nourishment it provides. In that moment, you're not thinking about anything else. You are here, present in the act of eating. This is mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It's about observing your life without getting caught up in it. Think about how often we let our thoughts control us. We worry about things that haven't happened yet. We ruminate on the past, wishing we could have done things differently. But when you practice mindfulness, you learn to step back from those thoughts and simply observe them. You no longer have to identify with every thought that pops into your head. You can simply acknowledge it and let it pass. This is incredibly powerful. When you are mindful, you stop living on autopilot. You start to notice the small details that you may have previously overlooked. The way the sunlight filters through the trees, the sound of your breath, the feeling of your feet on the ground. These small moments, when appreciated, can bring great peace and joy into your life. And, as you practice mindfulness more, you begin to see how much your mind and body are interconnected. When you are present, you become aware of your emotions and how they affect your actions. You learn to break free from reactive patterns and make choices based on calm, clear awareness, not just impulses or habits. Another key element of mindfulness is non-judgment. This means accepting the present moment as it is, without labeling it as good or bad. Often, we judge ourselves for our thoughts or emotions, believing that certain feelings are wrong or that certain situations should be avoided. But mindfulness teaches us to let go of this judgment. We are taught to embrace all aspects of ourselves, our strengths and our weaknesses, without criticizing ourselves for them. By accepting ourselves fully, we open the door to healing and growth. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness is closely linked to the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing. Our thoughts, emotions, and experiences come and go. Mindfulness helps us to see this clearly, allowing us to release attachment to the things we can't control. When we accept impermanence, we stop clinging to what we think should be, and instead, we embrace what is. This, in turn, helps reduce stress, anxiety, and feelings of frustration. One of the best ways to begin practicing mindfulness is through meditation. Meditation allows you to train your mind to stay in the present moment. You start by focusing on your breath, bringing your attention back to the sensation of breathing whenever your mind begins to wander. At first, this might seem difficult. Your mind may race, and it may feel like you can't stop thinking. But with regular practice, you'll find that your mind begins to quiet, and your awareness of the present moment deepens. As you practice mindfulness, you'll notice that it becomes easier to stay present throughout your day. Whether you're walking, talking, working, or even just sitting, you'll be able to focus your attention on the task at hand. And the more present you are, the more you'll begin to experience life in its fullness. You'll notice the richness of each moment, the colors, the sounds, the sensations. You'll begin to feel more connected to the world around you and to yourself. But mindfulness is not just about being aware of your thoughts. It's also about being aware of your actions. How often do we act out of habit or without thinking? How often do we rush through tasks without giving them our full attention? By practicing mindfulness, you begin to slow down and make conscious choices. You become aware of how your actions affect others and how they shape your life. And with this awareness comes the power to change. One of the most profound impacts of mindfulness is how it helps us deal with stress and emotions. Life is full of challenges, difficult situations, disappointments, and moments of uncertainty. But when we approach these challenges with mindfulness, we can respond with a sense of calm and clarity, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. Instead of getting overwhelmed, we can observe our feelings and thoughts, giving ourselves space to choose a more thoughtful response. Another powerful aspect of mindfulness is its ability to strengthen relationships. When we are mindful, we are truly present with others. We listen deeply, without distraction. We engage with empathy and compassion. This not only strengthens our connection with others, but also enhances our ability to resolve conflicts in a peaceful and constructive way. When you show up fully in your relationships, you create an environment where trust and understanding can thrive. So, How can you incorporate mindfulness into your daily life? Start small. Begin by choosing one activity each day to practice mindfulness. Whether it's eating, walking, or simply sitting quietly, commit to being fully present in that moment. Set aside time each day for meditation, even if it's just for a few minutes. With consistent practice, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you experience life. You'll start to feel more grounded, more connected, and more at peace. Remember, mindfulness is not something you achieve and then move on from. It's a practice, a way of living. Every moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness. And the more you practice, the more it becomes second nature. You'll start to live your life with greater awareness, making intentional choices that align with your true values and desires. In the next part of our journey, we will explore how the Buddhist teachings on the Eightfold Path can guide you on your road to transformation. But for now, remember that mindfulness is the key to unlocking your potential in the present moment. It is a tool that, when used with intention and dedication, will transform not only your mind but your entire life. The Eightfold Path, Steps to Personal Growth. The Eightfold Path is one of the most important teachings in Buddhism, and it's the key to unlocking lasting transformation in your life. In simple terms, it's like a guidebook that shows you how to live with wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. When you begin walking this path, it's not about doing one thing perfectly. It's about making consistent improvements over time, one step at a time. The Eightfold Path consists of 8 principles, each one designed to help you live in harmony with yourself and the world around you. These principles are not rules or commandments. They are practices that encourage self-awareness, compassion, and mindfulness in every aspect of your life. Let's break them down one by one. 1. Right understanding. Right understanding is the first step on the path. It's about seeing the world clearly, without illusions or misconceptions. When you have the right understanding, you recognize the impermanence of life and the inevitability of change. This realization helps you to let go of attachments and expectations that cause unnecessary suffering. Life isn't about trying to control everything. It's about accepting things as they are and learning how to respond wisely. Think of it like looking at a picture in front of you. If you squint, you may not be able to make out the details. But when you adjust your focus, the picture becomes clearer. Similarly, right understanding allows you to see the truth of your own life, your thoughts, and the world around you. With this clarity, you can make better decisions and find peace even in the midst of challenges. 2. Right thought. Right thought, or right intention, goes hand in hand with right understanding. It's the practice of cultivating thoughts that are positive, compassionate, and free from harmful desires. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your emotions, influence your actions, and ultimately determine the quality of your life. Right thought encourages you to develop intentions that are rooted in kindness, generosity, and wisdom. For example, instead of holding on to anger or resentment when things don't go your way, right thought asks you to replace those negative emotions with forgiveness and understanding. It's about choosing to see the good in people and situations, even when they seem challenging. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings or suppress your emotions. It means you become aware of them and choose not to let them control you. By practicing right thought, you start to create a mental environment that is calm, peaceful, and conducive to positive change. 3. Right speech. Right speech is all about how we communicate with others. In our daily lives, we often speak without thinking, and our words can sometimes hurt or create unnecessary conflict. Right speech teaches us to speak truthfully, kindly, and helpfully. It encourages us to avoid gossip, harsh words, or deceit. When we speak with integrity, we build trust and harmony in our relationships. Words can either build bridges or walls, so it's important to be mindful of what we say. Instead of complaining or criticizing, right speech asks us to offer words of encouragement, understanding, and support. When you practice this, you'll notice that your interactions with others become more positive and fulfilling. Right speech also involves listening. It's not just about speaking in a way that is kind and respectful, but also about listening attentively and with an open heart. When we listen without judgment or distraction, we create space for deeper connections and understanding. 4. Right action. Right action refers to the choices we make in our everyday lives. It's about acting in ways that are ethical, compassionate, and beneficial to others. Right action encourages us to avoid harmful actions, such as lying, stealing, or harming others, and instead to engage in actions that promote well-being and kindness. This principle is about living with integrity. For example, instead of taking shortcuts or acting selfishly to get ahead, you choose to do what is right, even when no one is watching. It's about being honest in your work, kind to those around you, and respectful of the earth and all living beings. When you live in alignment with right action, you'll feel a deep sense of satisfaction and inner peace because you know that your actions are contributing to the greater good. 5. Right livelihood. Right livelihood is about choosing a career or profession that aligns with your values and promotes the well-being of others. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job and become a monk, but it does mean that you make decisions based on integrity and compassion. For example, if your job involves causing harm to others or exploiting people or the environment, right livelihood asks you to reconsider your choices. Instead, look for ways to contribute positively to society and make a living in a way that reflects your true values. This could mean choosing a profession that serves others, working in an ethical company, or simply making small changes in your current work life to reduce harm. When you practice right livelihood, you find purpose in your work and feel that what you do is meaningful. You also develop a deeper sense of responsibility toward the world around you, knowing that your work has the power to make a positive difference. 6. Right effort. Right effort is the practice of striving for improvement while maintaining a balanced, calm mind. It's about putting in the necessary effort to develop good habits, overcome negative tendencies, and cultivate positive qualities. However, this effort should never be forced or obsessive. It should come from a place of mindfulness and self-compassion. Right effort encourages you to work on overcoming negative thoughts and behaviors like anger, greed, or jealousy. It also invites you to cultivate positive qualities such as patience, generosity, and mindfulness. This is not a race or a competition. It's about consistent, gentle effort that leads to gradual progress. When you put in the right effort, you start to notice positive changes in your life. You feel more motivated, more focused, and more in tune with your inner wisdom. The key is to keep moving forward, even if the progress feels slow at times. Trust that every small step you take is a step toward greater peace and understanding. 7. Right mindfulness. Mindfulness is at the heart of Buddhism, and right mindfulness is about cultivating a deep awareness of the present moment. It's about paying attention to your thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment or distraction. Right mindfulness invites you to be fully present in whatever you are doing, whether it's eating, walking, or having a conversation. Instead of getting lost in thoughts about the past or future, you focus on the here and now. This practice helps you to break free from the cycle of automatic reactions and instead respond to life with greater clarity and wisdom. The beauty of right mindfulness is that it can be applied to everything in your life. You don't need to meditate for hours to practice mindfulness. It's about bringing awareness to your daily activities and observing your thoughts and emotions with curiosity and compassion. When you do this, you start to feel more in control of your reactions and more at peace with yourself. 8. Right concentration. Right concentration is the final step of the Eightfold Path, and it's about developing the ability to focus your mind with clarity and calmness. It's about training your mind to concentrate on one thing at a time, without being distracted by the endless stream of thoughts that often flood our minds. Right concentration is developed through meditation practice. By setting aside time each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath, a sound, or a mantra, you train your mind to become more focused and disciplined. Over time, this practice leads to greater mental clarity, emotional balance, and insight. Right concentration is not about escaping reality. It's about deepening your awareness and cultivating the ability to see things clearly. As you practice, you may begin to experience moments of stillness and peace that allow you to connect with your inner wisdom and true nature. The power of meditation, transforming the mind. Meditation is like a mirror for the mind. In the chaos of daily life, our thoughts, emotions, and worries constantly swirl, leaving us feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. But when you meditate, you start to calm that storm within, creating a space where clarity, peace, and wisdom can emerge. In fact, meditation has the power to completely transform your mind and, in turn, your life. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a busy street, cars honking, people rushing by, and the noise never stops. Your mind is just like that street. Thoughts are constantly racing through, distracting you, pulling your attention in every direction. Now, imagine stepping off the street, finding a quiet park, and just sitting down to breathe and relax. Slowly, the chaos of the street fades, and you are left with peace and stillness. This is what meditation offers, the ability to step out of the noise and reconnect with your true self. When you meditate, you begin to observe your thoughts without judgment. You don't try to control or suppress them. Instead, you simply notice them as they come and go, like clouds floating across the sky. Over time, this practice helps you gain control over your reactions and emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively to every situation, you begin to respond with patience and wisdom. In Buddhism, meditation is at the heart of transforming the mind. It's not just about sitting in silence. It's about training the mind to be focused, clear, and free from attachment. The Buddha taught that our suffering comes from our attachment to things, whether it's people, possessions, or even our own thoughts and emotions. Meditation allows us to let go of these attachments and find peace in the present moment. One of the simplest forms of meditation is called mindfulness meditation. In mindfulness meditation, you simply pay attention to your breath. You breathe in and you breathe out. That's it. As you focus on your breath, you start to become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. You might notice that your mind wanders. This is completely normal. When that happens, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, you'll begin to notice the power of your breath. It's always there, always steady, always calm, and it becomes your anchor in moments of stress or chaos. Another powerful meditation technique is called loving kindness meditation, or metta meditation. This form of meditation helps you develop compassion and love for yourself and others. You begin by sitting quietly and silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I live with ease." As you repeat these phrases, you start to feel a sense of warmth and kindness growing within you. Then, you extend these wishes to others. You might think of someone you love and say, "May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease." Over time, this practice helps you develop a sense of connection and compassion, not just for those you know, but for all beings. In the beginning, meditation can feel uncomfortable. It's normal to feel restless, distracted, or even frustrated. But don't let that stop you. Meditation is a skill, and like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Start with just a few minutes each day, and gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable. Remember, meditation isn't about achieving perfection. It's about showing up, being present, and allowing yourself to experience the moment as it is. Meditation also helps you cultivate the important quality of patience. In our fast-paced world, we are constantly rushing from one task to the next. We want things to happen quickly and efficiently. But meditation teaches us to slow down and simply be. We begin to realize that not everything needs to be rushed. By meditating regularly, we develop the patience to face challenges with calmness and clarity, instead of reacting impulsively. In Buddhism, meditation isn't just a personal practice, it's a way of living. It's about cultivating mindfulness in everything you do. Whether you're eating, walking, or working, you can bring your full attention to the present moment. When you practice mindfulness, you stop rushing through life. You start to appreciate the small details, like the taste of food or the feeling of the breeze on your skin. You begin to realize that every moment is precious and full of beauty. As you continue to meditate, you will start to notice profound changes in your life. You will become more patient, more compassionate, and more aware of your thoughts and feelings. You will find that you react less impulsively to situations, and instead, you will respond with calmness and wisdom. Your relationships will improve as you become more present with the people around you. You will begin to experience greater peace and happiness, even in the midst of challenges. One of the greatest benefits of meditation is that it helps you develop a deep sense of inner peace. No matter what is happening in the outside world, you can find calmness within yourself. This inner peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It comes from within, from your ability to be present and mindful in every moment. In your 90-day transformation, meditation will become one of your most powerful tools. It will help you quiet your mind, reduce stress, and gain clarity in every area of your life. And the best part? You don't need to make huge changes to your life to experience the benefits of meditation. All you need is a few minutes each day to begin the practice. So, if you want to change your life in 90 days, make meditation a daily habit. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your mind begins to transform. The more you meditate, the more you will experience the peace and wisdom that comes with it. And as you continue this practice, you'll find that you have the power to handle any challenge with a calm, clear mind. Remember, meditation is not about escaping reality. It's about embracing it. It's about finding peace in the present moment, no matter what is happening around you. And as you learn to meditate, you will find that the world begins to look different. You'll see it through clearer eyes, with more love, compassion, and understanding. This is the power of meditation. It is the key to transforming your mind, your life, and your future. Overcoming suffering, the Four Noble Truths. Life can be tough. We all go through challenges, pain, and moments of suffering. At some point, we all wonder, why does life seem so difficult? Why can't we just find lasting happiness and peace? It's a question that has been asked for thousands of years. And the answer, as shown in the teachings of Buddhism, is simple but powerful. The truth is, suffering is a natural part of life. It is something we all experience in one form or another. But here's the good news. There is a way to understand, reduce, and even overcome suffering. And this understanding comes from the Four Noble Truths, the core teachings of Buddhism. These truths are not meant to make us feel hopeless. Instead, they guide us toward freedom and lasting peace. Let's start by understanding each of the Four Noble Truths. The first noble truth, the truth of suffering, dukkha. The first truth is simple. Life involves suffering. Suffering comes in many forms: physical pain, emotional distress, loss, disappointment, and even just the frustration of not being able to change things that bother us. We suffer when things don't go as we want, when we feel disconnected, or when we hold on too tightly to things, people, or experiences that are temporary. But suffering isn't just about pain. It's also about dissatisfaction. Even in moments of happiness, there can be an underlying sense that something is missing, that things could be better, or that they won't last forever. This feeling of wanting more or something different is a form of suffering too. Understanding this truth helps us realize that suffering is a part of being human. It's not something we can avoid, but something we can learn to face and understand. The second noble truth, the truth of the cause of suffering, samadaya. The second truth explains why we suffer. The cause of suffering is craving, attachment, and ignorance. We suffer because we desire things to be different from what they are. We crave more pleasure, more comfort, more success, more love, whatever we think will make us happy. But when we attach ourselves too strongly to these desires, we create suffering. Think about how we hold on to the idea of things should be a certain way. We want our relationships, our jobs, or our lives to be perfect. When they don't match our expectations, we feel upset, frustrated, or disappointed. This attachment to what we think life should look like is a major source of suffering. Moreover, ignorance plays a role. We often don't see the bigger picture. We forget that everything in life is impermanent, that change is inevitable, and that nothing lasts forever. This ignorance of how life really works leads us to cling to fleeting things, thinking they will bring us lasting happiness, and when they eventually fade away, we feel sorrow and loss. The third noble truth, the truth of the end of suffering, nirodha. Here's the good news. There is a way to end suffering. The third noble truth tells us that it is possible to be free from suffering. It's not about getting rid of all the challenges in life, but learning how to stop feeding the craving and attachment that cause suffering. The key to ending suffering is letting go. When we stop attaching ourselves to things, when we stop craving outcomes, when we accept things as they are, just as they are, we experience freedom. This freedom is not about avoiding pain, but about shifting how we relate to pain, how we respond to the challenges life throws at us. By practicing non-attachment and understanding that nothing is permanent, we stop the cycle of suffering. We can learn to enjoy the present moment without needing it to last forever. We find peace in knowing that everything is temporary and that it's okay to let go of things, knowing they don't define our happiness. The fourth noble truth, the truth of the path to the end of suffering, MAGA. Now that we understand the nature and cause of suffering, and we know it is possible to end it, the fourth truth offers us a way to do so. The path to the end of suffering is called the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is a guide, a step-by-step process that helps us change the way we think, speak, and act. It helps us align ourselves with the natural flow of life, reducing the power of craving and attachment. The Noble Eightfold Path is divided into 8 practices, which can be grouped into 3 main categories: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. 1. Right understanding. Wisdom. This means understanding the truth of life as it is. It's about seeing the world clearly, without illusions or misunderstandings. When we understand the 4 noble truths deeply, we gain wisdom that helps us make better decisions and live in harmony with ourselves and others. 2. Right intention. Wisdom. This is about having the right mindset. It involves the intention to live with kindness, compassion, and non-attachment. It's about setting our intentions on creating a peaceful, loving, and harmonious life, rather than being driven by desires or ego. 3. Right speech. Ethical conduct. Our words have great power. Right speech means speaking truthfully, kindly, and in ways that support peace. It involves avoiding lies, gossip, and harmful words. When we speak with mindfulness, our words become a source of healing rather than harm. 4. Right action. Ethical conduct. This involves acting in ways that are ethical, kind, and respectful to others. It's about doing good deeds, helping others, and avoiding harmful actions. Right action helps us live a life of integrity, where our actions align with our values. 5. Right livelihood. Ethical conduct. Right livelihood means earning a living in a way that does not harm others. It involves choosing work that is ethical and that brings benefit to both ourselves and the wider community. When we live and work in harmony with our values, we reduce suffering and contribute to the well-being of others. 6. Right effort. Mental discipline. This is about making an effort to improve ourselves. It's the effort to cultivate good qualities like kindness, patience, and wisdom while eliminating negative qualities like greed, anger, and ignorance. Right effort is about consistent practice and determination to better ourselves and our lives. 7. Right mindfulness. Mental discipline. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware and present in the moment. Right mindfulness means paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. It helps us live more consciously, so we can make choices that align with our true values and create less suffering in our lives. 8. Right concentration. Mental discipline. This involves developing the ability to focus the mind through meditation. Right concentration helps us cultivate deep inner peace, clarity, and insight. It allows us to calm our thoughts, reduce distractions, and gain wisdom. Together, these 8 practices form a powerful path to end suffering and find peace. By applying them in our daily lives, we can transform our habits, our mindset, and our way of being in the world. The Noble Eightfold Path is not just a set of rules. It's a way of living, a path toward wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline that frees us from the endless cycle of suffering. How does this help us overcome suffering? The 4 noble truths give us a roadmap to understand and deal with suffering. By recognizing that suffering is part of life, we stop resisting it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift in mindset is powerful. It helps us face challenges with a calm, clear mind rather than being overwhelmed by them. The 4 noble truths show us that suffering is not a punishment, but an opportunity for growth. It's through understanding and accepting suffering that we can begin to heal and transform. With the wisdom of Buddhism, we learn to stop feeding the cravings and attachments that create suffering, and we develop the inner strength to find peace regardless of life's ups and downs. In the end, overcoming suffering is not about escaping pain or avoiding challenges. It's about learning to live with them in a way that doesn't create more suffering. It's about cultivating wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness so that we can navigate life with grace and ease. The 4 noble truths show us the way now. It's up to us to walk it. Karma and intentions, shaping your future. In Buddhism, One of the most important teachings is the law of karma, a fundamental idea that helps us understand how our actions shape our future. The concept of karma is often misunderstood, but when you break it down, it becomes clear how our intentions and actions affect every part of our lives. Let's explore this powerful idea and see how it can guide you towards a better, more fulfilling life. First, let's look at what karma truly means. The word karma comes from the Sanskrit word kri, which means to do or to act. It's often thought of as a form of cosmic punishment or reward, but karma is not about good things happening to you because of your good deeds or bad things happening because of your bad deeds. Instead, karma is about the actions you take and their consequences, which can unfold in this lifetime or even in future lifetimes. It is a natural law that ensures your actions, good or bad, will have an impact, shaping the world around you. Think of karma as the seeds you plant in your life. Every thought, word, and deed is a seed that eventually grows into something. If you plant seeds of kindness, patience, and compassion, you'll see these things return to you in the form of peace, love, and understanding. But if you plant seeds of anger, resentment, and selfishness, you'll find that your life becomes full of struggle, frustration, and conflict. The seeds we plant are the intentions behind our actions, and they determine the course of our lives. To truly understand how karma works, you need to understand the role of your intentions. Intentions are the driving force behind everything we do. They are the root of our actions. Without right intentions, even the best actions can lead to unintended consequences. That's why in Buddhism, there is a strong emphasis on cultivating pure and positive intentions. Good intentions guide us toward actions that create peace and harmony, while negative intentions lead us toward suffering and conflict. For example, let's say you help someone because you expect them to return the favor. Your action may seem kind, but the underlying intention is selfish. On the other hand, if you help someone with no expectation of anything in return, simply because you care, your action is motivated by selflessness. The first action, although seemingly good, is tainted by the intention behind it, and the second is pure. It's the intention behind the action that determines the quality of the karma created. Now, you might wonder, if karma is shaped by my intentions, then how can I be sure that my intentions are pure? That's a great question. In order to cultivate pure intentions, it's important to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. When you are mindful of your thoughts and actions, you begin to see where your intentions are coming from. Are they coming from a place of love and kindness, or are they motivated by fear, jealousy, or desire? One way to check your intentions is to ask yourself a few questions before acting. Why am I doing this? What do I hope to gain from this action? Am I doing this out of love, or am I seeking something in return? These questions can help you become more aware of your true motivations and ensure that your actions are aligned with your deepest values. As you begin to cultivate positive intentions, you'll notice that your actions begin to align with your higher purpose. This alignment will lead to greater peace and fulfillment in your life. You'll also find that, over time, your karmic actions begin to create a more positive environment around you. People will start responding to you with kindness, and you'll start to attract more opportunities for growth, love, and success. But karma doesn't just affect your present life. It also shapes your future. Just as the seeds you plant today grow into the experiences of tomorrow, your actions today create the foundation for the future you'll experience. If you want to see changes in your life in 90 days, start by changing the intentions behind your actions. Start planting seeds of kindness, compassion, and generosity, and watch how they bloom into positive outcomes. Buddhism teaches that every action has a ripple effect. It's not just your direct actions that matter, but the impact they have on others. When you act with kindness, you create a ripple that spreads out, affecting everyone around you. This ripple can create a wave of positive energy that transforms your relationships, your work, and even your community. So, if you want to make a positive change in your life, start with your intentions. Be mindful of how you act, and choose to act in ways that benefit others as well as yourself. The beauty of karma is that it gives you complete control over your future. You are not at the mercy of fate or the whims of the universe. Instead, you are the creator of your own destiny. Each moment is a chance to shape your future, one intention at a time. When you begin to act with awareness and pure intention, You are essentially designing the life you want to live. But don't mistake this for some sort of quick fix. Karma works over time, and it requires patience. The effects of your actions may not be immediately visible, but trust that they are always in motion. Every positive thought, every kind action, every loving word is contributing to the creation of a future that is more peaceful, fulfilling, and joyful. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is that you can change the direction of your life at any moment. No matter where you are or what you've done in the past, you can begin anew with each breath. The past does not define you, your intentions do. When you understand this, you realize that the power to change your life is always in your hands. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your own experience. As you begin to understand karma and its role in your life, you'll find that you start making better choices. You'll become more conscious of how your actions affect those around you, and you'll make an effort to act with kindness and compassion. Slowly but surely, your life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined. You'll feel more at peace, more connected, and more aligned with your true self. Remember, the key to transforming your life is to start with your intentions. Your actions follow your intentions, and the results of those actions will shape your future. So, if you want to create a life filled with happiness, love, and success, begin by setting your intentions on positivity, kindness, and compassion. This is the path that leads to true transformation. In conclusion, the law of karma is not about fate or punishment. It's about the power of your own actions and intentions. By being mindful of your thoughts and actions, and by cultivating pure intentions, you can create a future that reflects the life you truly desire. The seeds you plant today will grow into the life you experience tomorrow. Start today, and watch how your future unfolds in the most beautiful and meaningful way. Loving kindness, cultivating compassion and gratitude. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to forget the power of kindness. We're so caught up in our goals, our worries, and the busyness of daily life that we often overlook how important it is to simply be kind to others and to ourselves. But the truth is, kindness is one of the most transformative forces you can introduce into your life. And it doesn't just change the people you interact with. It has the power to change you, too. In Buddhism, there is a practice called metta, or loving kindness meditation, that teaches us to cultivate compassion and unconditional love. It's a practice that, when embraced, can lead to deep personal growth and harmony in your relationships. Loving kindness is not about doing grand gestures. It's about small, consistent acts of compassion that begin within you. It's about offering a smile to a stranger, forgiving someone who hurt you, or simply being patient with yourself when you make mistakes. These small, everyday acts have the ability to create ripples that expand, affecting not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. But the key to loving kindness isn't just about showing it to others. It's about showing it to yourself first. Many of us are our own harshest critics. We berate ourselves when we make mistakes, and we set impossible standards that are impossible to meet. Yet, in Buddhism, there's an important lesson. If we can't love ourselves, we can't truly love others. Compassion starts with self-compassion. Think about it for a moment. How would your life change if you treated yourself with the same kindness that you offer your loved ones? What if you could silence the voice that criticizes you and replace it with one that encourages and supports you? The practice of loving kindness teaches you to do just that. It starts by acknowledging your imperfections and embracing them with understanding and care. When you can accept yourself fully, with all your flaws, you'll naturally extend that same acceptance to others. In practical terms, here's how you can begin to cultivate loving kindness. Every morning, take a few moments to sit quietly and wish yourself well. Say to yourself, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease." Repeat these words gently, without judgment, allowing them to sink into your heart. As you practice this, you may feel resistance, especially if you're not used to being kind to yourself. That's okay. Simply acknowledge the resistance and continue. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Once you've extended loving kindness to yourself, the next step is to extend it to others. Begin with someone you love, someone close to you, like a family member or a friend. Wish them the same good things you wished for yourself. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Then, gradually extend that compassion to others, acquaintances, strangers, and even people with whom you may have conflict. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them or condone their actions. It simply means wishing them well, regardless of the situation. It's a profound practice that can release anger and resentment, making space for healing and growth. But what happens when we truly embrace this practice of loving kindness in our lives? First and foremost, it brings us peace. As we let go of judgment and negativity, we make room for more positive emotions. We begin to feel lighter, freer, and more at ease. When you choose kindness over criticism, your mind becomes less cluttered, and your heart feels more open. You'll also notice that this practice helps you connect with others on a deeper level. Imagine meeting someone with a smile, wishing them well, and seeing how their demeanor shifts. By offering kindness, you become a magnet for it. People respond to genuine warmth and compassion. It's contagious. Loving kindness also helps us in the face of adversity. Life, as we know, isn't always smooth. We experience challenges, misunderstandings, and setbacks. When we face these difficult situations, loving kindness can help us stay grounded. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, we can pause, breathe, and approach the situation with compassion. This doesn't mean we let others walk all over us or ignore the challenges at hand. It means we respond thoughtfully, without allowing negative emotions to control us. Compassion gives us the clarity and strength to face life's obstacles with grace. At the same time, loving kindness strengthens our ability to forgive. Holding on to grudges can weigh us down, both emotionally and mentally. The act of forgiving, however, doesn't mean forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior. It means releasing the hold that pain has on us, freeing ourselves from its grip. Loving kindness helps us do this, not just for others, but for ourselves. When we forgive, we let go of the past and create space for healing and growth. Another beautiful aspect of loving kindness is that it encourages gratitude. When you begin each day by wishing for happiness, safety, and ease, you start to focus on what's positive in your life. Gratitude opens your heart to the blessings that surround you, both big and small. You'll begin to notice the good in your life, things you may have previously taken for granted. It could be the warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, or the kindness of a friend. As you cultivate a heart full of gratitude, you'll start to see the world through a more compassionate lens. When we live with loving kindness and gratitude, we no longer feel the need to compete with others or compare ourselves to them. We no longer measure our worth by external standards. We simply recognize that we are all part of the same human experience, each doing our best to navigate life's challenges. Loving kindness helps us see the interconnectedness of all beings, and it encourages us to support and uplift each other, rather than tear each other down. Incorporating loving kindness into your daily life will not only transform your relationships, but it will also transform you. You'll find that you approach challenges with a calm and open mind. You'll interact with others more kindly, and you'll begin to attract more positivity into your life. It's a practice that has the potential to change the way you see yourself, others, and the world around you. In the end, loving kindness isn't just a practice, it's a way of being. It's a choice you make every day to approach life with an open heart, to show compassion to yourself and others, and to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and peace. So, take a moment today to reflect on how you can bring more kindness into your life. Start small, be patient, and watch as it transforms not just your world, but your entire experience of life. Loving kindness may be simple, but its effects are profound. And in just 90 days, this practice has the power to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. So, start today, because every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the potential to change everything. Integrating wisdom, applying Buddhist teachings to daily life. Life often feels like a balancing act, doesn't it? We juggle work, family, relationships, health, and personal growth, yet it can seem like something is always slipping. As a Zen master, let me assure you, balance is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about living with awareness, applying the wisdom you've learned, and finding harmony in each moment. By this stage in your 90-day journey, you've gained insights into mindfulness, meditation, compassion, and the deeper truths of Buddhism. But wisdom is useless if it stays locked in your mind. The key is to bring this knowledge into your everyday life, making each moment an opportunity for growth and peace. Start your day with mindfulness. Every morning offers a fresh start. Instead of rushing out of bed and diving into the chaos of the day, take a moment to pause. Begin with a simple practice. Just breathe. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the sensation of air moving in and out. This small act connects you to the present moment. When brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, or even choosing your clothes, stay aware. Notice the textures, tastes, and sounds around you. These little acts of mindfulness ground you in the now, helping you start your day with clarity and focus. Turn work into a meditation. Work is often seen as stressful, but it can also be a form of meditation. Whatever task you're doing, approach it with full attention. Whether you're typing on a computer, talking to a client, or cleaning your space, give it your undivided focus. When distractions arise, gently bring your mind back to the task. This practice trains your mind to stay present, reducing stress and increasing productivity. It's not about perfection, it's about practice. Cultivate compassion in relationships. Relationships can be challenging, but they're also our greatest teachers. Apply loving kindness in your interactions. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If someone angers you, pause. Instead of reacting impulsively, try to understand their perspective. Remember, everyone carries their own struggles. By practicing empathy, you create deeper connections and reduce conflict. Simplify your life. The teachings of Buddhism emphasize simplicity. Look around you. How much of your life is cluttered with unnecessary things or commitments? Start small. Declutter a drawer, let go of possessions you no longer need, or say no to obligations that don't align with your values. Simplicity brings clarity, and clarity leads to peace. Face challenges with resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, but wisdom teaches us that nothing is permanent. When challenges arise, remind yourself, this too shall pass. Instead of resisting difficulties, face them with curiosity. What can you learn from this moment? How can it help you grow? Challenges are not obstacles. They're stepping stones on your path to wisdom. Infuse gratitude into daily life. Gratitude transforms how you see the world. Every night before bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big, perhaps the warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, or the food on your plate. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It fills your heart with contentment and joy. Be gentle with yourself. One of the most profound lessons of Buddhism is compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. You're human, and you'll make mistakes. Instead of criticizing yourself, treat yourself with kindness. When you fall off track, don't give up. Gently guide yourself back, just as you would comfort a friend. Progress is not linear, and transformation takes time. Live with intention. Every action, no matter how small, has an impact. Live intentionally, asking yourself, does this align with my values? Does it bring me closer to the person I want to be? Whether you're eating, walking, or making decisions, act with purpose. This awareness transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for growth. Celebrate the journey. Finally, remember to celebrate how far you've come. Transformation is not about reaching a destination. It's about the journey itself. Each step you take, each small change you make, is a victory. Living the teachings of Buddhism is not about perfection. It's about progress, presence, and patience. The more you integrate these practices into your daily life, the more they'll become second nature. Keep walking this path with an open heart and an open mind. The wisdom you seek is not somewhere out there. It's already within you, waiting to be embraced in every moment of your daily life. The journey ahead, sustaining your 90-day transformation. So, here you are, at the end of this incredible journey, but don't be fooled. This isn't the finish line. It's just the beginning. What you've learned in the past 90 days is not something that will just fade away. It's the foundation of a new way of life, a life that has the potential to keep growing, evolving, and improving every single day. The true challenge is not in the transformation itself, but in sustaining it over time. Let me ask you a question. How do you keep the fire of change burning? How do you ensure that all the effort you've put into transforming your mind, your habits, and your life continues to pay off long after these 90 days. The answer lies in one simple, yet powerful concept: consistency. Buddhism teaches us that change is a continuous process. Just as a river flows constantly, always moving forward, your transformation must also keep flowing. It doesn't stop just because you've reached a certain point. True wisdom comes when we realize that growth doesn't have an endpoint. It's an ongoing journey. If you want to sustain the results you've experienced over these 90 days, you need to commit to daily practice. You need to keep showing up, not only for yourself but also for the life you want to create. At this point, you may be feeling good. Maybe you've found more clarity, peace, and happiness. You've started to embrace the teachings of Buddhism, things like mindfulness, the Eightfold Path, and meditation, and you're seeing real changes. But the key to sustaining your transformation is to make these teachings a part of who you are, not just something you try for a short time and then forget about. It's about living Buddhism, not just practicing it in short bursts. So, how do you keep it alive? 1. Keep your practice consistent. One of the most important things you can do is maintain a consistent practice. Whether it's meditation, mindfulness, or reflecting on the Four Noble Truths, find a daily ritual that works for you. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes each day, it's the consistency that makes all the difference. Over time, this practice becomes a natural part of your routine. You don't have to force it anymore. It becomes who you are. Remember, it's not about perfection. There will be days when your mind wanders, when you feel distracted or frustrated. That's okay. The key is to show up again the next day and try again. No matter how small your effort may seem on any given day, it all adds up. Even one mindful breath can shift your perspective and bring you back to the present moment. 2. Embrace impermanence. In Buddhism, there is a teaching called anicca, or impermanence. It reminds us that nothing in life is permanent. Everything is always changing. This means your mood, your circumstances, your goals, and even your mind will go through cycles. Sometimes you'll feel motivated, and other times you'll feel like you've lost momentum. But remember, this is normal. Life will always throw challenges your way, but when you embrace impermanence, you understand that everything, good or bad, is temporary. You don't have to cling to the moments of difficulty or even the moments of success. Instead, observe them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. The key is to keep going, no matter where you are in your journey. 3. Practice patience with yourself. Transformation takes time. Just as you didn't gain all your habits, thoughts, or patterns overnight, you won't transform into a fully awakened person in 90 days. And that's okay. The most important thing is to keep practicing with patience and compassion for yourself. Buddhism teaches us to have karuna, compassion, not just for others but also for ourselves. When you make mistakes, be kind to yourself. When things don't go according to plan, understand that you are human and growth is messy. Patience is key to sustaining your transformation because, without it, you'll easily become frustrated and give up. Keep reminding yourself that the path you are on is a lifelong journey, not a sprint. 4. Cultivate gratitude every day. As you continue along this path, one of the simplest but most powerful practices you can do is to cultivate gratitude. When we shift our focus from what's missing in our lives to what we already have, we begin to see the world in a new light. Gratitude keeps us grounded in the present moment, helping us to appreciate even the smallest things. Start by taking a moment each day to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, or the peace you find in your practice. Over time, this small practice will help you stay positive, even when life gets tough. 5. Share your wisdom. As you progress, you'll start to notice the positive changes within yourself. This transformation will not only impact your own life, but the lives of those around you as well. You'll find that your actions are more thoughtful, your words kinder, and your interactions more meaningful. One of the most beautiful things you can do is to share the wisdom you've gained with others. Whether it's through simple conversations, teaching someone about mindfulness, or being a living example of kindness and compassion, sharing what you've learned will not only help others, but also strengthen your own practice. Remember, Buddhism teaches that we are all interconnected. By helping others, we continue our own growth. 6. Build strong relationships. In Buddhism, community is essential. This is known as Sangha. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals can make a world of difference in sustaining your transformation. A strong community will encourage you to stay on track, offer wisdom when you're feeling lost, and celebrate your successes with you. Find a group of people, whether online or in person, who share your commitment to growth. Engage with them, learn from them, and support them in their own journeys. A community can provide the encouragement and connection you need to stay grounded in your practice. 7. Let go of attachment. As you move forward, you'll likely encounter new desires, attachments, and distractions. The trick is to recognize them for what they are and not let them control you. Buddhism teaches us that attachment is the root of suffering. When we become attached to outcomes, people, or things, we suffer because we fear losing them. Instead, focus on detaching from the need for specific outcomes. Trust that what comes into your life is meant for you, and what leaves is not necessary for your growth. When you let go of attachment, you free yourself to experience life more fully, without the fear of losing anything. 8. Keep seeking knowledge. Transformation is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong process. Keep learning. Keep seeking knowledge. The teachings of Buddhism are vast and deep, and the more you learn, the more you'll be able to apply them to your life. Read books, listen to talks, attend retreats, or study with a teacher. The more you immerse yourself in the wisdom of Buddhism, the clearer your path will become. Never stop seeking. The more knowledge you gain, the more wisdom you will have to share with others. 9. Trust the process. And finally, trust the process. You've made it this far, and now it's time to trust that your efforts will continue to bring you closer to the person you are meant to be. Trust that every practice, every moment of mindfulness, every lesson learned is bringing you closer to peace, joy, and wisdom. The path to transformation may not always be clear, and there will be times when you feel uncertain. But know this: as long as you stay committed, as long as you continue to practice with patience, gratitude, and love, you are on the right path. Your transformation is unfolding, and it's more beautiful than you can imagine. And so, the journey doesn't end here. The wisdom you've acquired in these 90 days is just the beginning of a lifelong process. The more you practice, the more you'll uncover. Keep moving forward. Stay consistent, embrace patience, and always trust the process. The most important thing now is to keep your commitment to this new life. Don't stop practicing, don't stop learning, and most importantly, don't stop believing in your ability to change. You've already proven that you can transform your life in just 90 days. Now, let that transformation continue to unfold for the rest of your life. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Stay present, stay patient, and keep going. You are capable of so much more than you know. Keep walking the path with wisdom, and the world will open up in ways you've never imagined.